Shalom. All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash. Yahweh being the name of the Father, who the world only calls God. Yahweh, meaning He exists. Bahashem, meaning in the name. Yahushai, who the world only calls Jesus Christ. Yahushai, meaning He is salvation. Bahashem, meaning in the name. Rakaha, Kodash, Spirit Holy. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who teach one world who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth and risking their own lives through the four corners of the earth. To the Akwathim listening, listen, and learn in sincerity and the truth and the silence, Shalom. Akyam, meaning brothers, Akwathim meaning sisters, Shalom meaning peace be unto you. It's your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson, right? In the news and prophecy. Right, a couple articles. We have this article right here, this news headline from Newsmax, Sunday, November 17th, 2024. The hopeful year of Jacob's trouble coming to pass. Listen, man, this year is done. Right, we're at the end of Esau's calendar year, and there's a lot of things taking place which coincide with prophecy. It says here, Biden lifts ban on Ukraine using U.S. arms to strike inside Russia. Right, wars and rumors of wars, man. Right, which will ultimately lead up into World War III. Right, what we're seeing is the buildup. Right, the line is being drawn in the sand. Allies are being agreements are being broken. New allies are being made. Right, but before all of this, before the war to end all wars, the time of Jacob's trouble, and the MOTB, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, the grain of rice. It says here, President Joe Biden's administration will allow Ukraine to use U.S. provided weapons to strike deep into Russian territory. Three sources familiar with the matter said in a significant change to Washington's policy in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Right, and how ironic! All wars are bankers' wars. Right, these elites want chaos, but how ironic! Before Sleepy Joe leaves office, right, and he's been a staunch. He's been against Ukraine using American-made missiles, and now right before he leaves office, he's gonna stir the pot and drop it in DT-45's lap. Mark 13, saw by design. Right, scriptures say the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever it goeth. Right, whatever the direction the Lord wants it to be or to go, that's the direction it's going to go. The Lord is going to have angels working on the minds of these leaders. Mark 13:7, red letter. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. Right, Yahushua said, be ye not troubled. And who's not going to be troubled? The elect. Right, 2/3 of our people, these heathen nations, they're going to bug out, march, hold up signs saying pray for peace, but it's the will of the Lord. Verse 8, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. Right, and we're in the time of the beginning of sorrows. These are the times of the beginning of sorrow. This is, and it's only going to continue to climax. It goes on to read here, Ukraine plans to conduct its first long-range attacks in the coming days, the sources said, without revealing details due to operational security concerns. The White House declined to comment. The move by the United States, 2 months before President-elect Donald Trump takes office on January 20th, follows months of requests by Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to allow Ukraine military to use weapons to hit Russian military targets far from its border. The change follows Russia's deployment of North Korean ground troops to supplement its own forces, a development that has caused alarm in Washington and Kyiv. The first deep strikes are likely to be carried out using ATACMS rockets, which have a range of up to 190 miles, which is 306 kilometers, according to the sources. While some U.S. officials have expressed skepticism that allowing long-range missiles will change the war's overall trajectory, the decision could help Ukraine at a moment when Russian forces are making gains and possibly put Kyiv in a better negotiating position when and if ceasefire talks happen. Right. And we'll see where it goes, right? But if anyhow Ukraine starts firing off American-made missiles, it will change the relations between Putin and NATO, right? Second Ezra 16. Second Ezra 16, verse 18. We're in beautiful times, right? We're in a time of prophecies flying off the pages of the scriptures. Second Ezra 16, Salakia. Second Ezra 16, verse 18. It reads, "Woe is me," verse 17, Salakia. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. Right, and this is a vision of Esdras, right? Having a vision of the latter days. And he's saying, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Right? Right? It's reincarnation. The spirit of Esdras is here in his lot, being a prophet, right? He wants to know who's going to deliver me from these times, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The powers being these different leaders of different regions, different kingdoms, different cities, different countries. The beginning of evils, right? Evils being bad times. What shall I do when these evils shall come, right? So I just wanted to know, Lord, it's going to be bad, right? What shall I do? Right. Next article. UK begins rolling out digital IDs for citizens to prove their status. Right. Another all roads lead to the MOTB. I did a lesson last week on Israel posing Salakia. Israel preparing to move forward with digital IDs for Palestinians in Gaza so they can continue to participate in society. It says here, UK begins rolling out digital IDs for citizens to prove their status. The British government has begun rolling out digital IDs in the UK, insisting that citizens require the digital identification in order to prove their status and gain access to convenient services. Right, and this is the same way the MOTB. This is the template, the groundwork, the segue, the beta testing of how they're going to roll out the MOTB, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. See the key word here: digital identification in order to prove their status and gain access to convenient services. The Labour government is introducing a digital ID program targeting 250,000 military veterans under a veteran card initiative. The dystopian plan is being pitched as a means of simplifying access to services such as NHS, healthcare, housing support via the OP Fortitude program, job opportunities, discounted public transportation, and other benefits. However, critics see the rollout as a precursor to implementing a broader, controversial digital ID system for all citizens. They claim veterans are being used as guinea pigs to normalize digital IDs, a concept many oppose due to privacy and surveillance concerns. Adding to the controversy, former Prime Minister Tony Blair has advocated for digital IDs, linking them to improved immigration control. This guy's still around here, man. It's Tony Blair, dude. He's juiced in, man. He was a British Prime Minister who was aligned with Bush during Operation Desert. What was the name of the operation when they invaded the weapons of their weapons of mass destruction? Can't remember. Operation Shock and Awe. Right. He was one of the. He was This guy was right alongside George Bush. Let's get a scripture. But all roads lead to the MOTB. This is beta testing, crossing their T's, dotting their I's, working out the kinks, right, of how they're going to roll it out. This digital ID is not the MOTB. Don't be simple, right? This digital ID is not the MOTB. But how they roll it out is going to be pretty much similar with how they implement the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, because you're not going to be able to do nothing unless you're juiced, unless you are in 36 and 6. Isaiah 36 and 6 in the NLT. Isaiah 36 and 5 NLT. Do you think that mere words can substitute for military skill and strength? Who are you counting on? That you have rebelled against me? On Egypt? If you lean on Egypt, it will be like a reed that splinters beneath your weight and pierces your hand. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, is completely unreliable, right? And pierce your hand. This is MOTB, is an insertable device. Isaiah 36 and 6, KJV. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, right? Spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom, which is America, America the Great, right? Those that trust in it, trust in his system. Whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, right? Daddy government. America the Great, Babylon the Great, king of Egypt to all that trusted him, right? Can't trust in this wicked, diabolical madman. Right? And they're going to turn around and tell people, um, you need this to continue your way of life, right? Babylon the Great, America the Great. What's this article right here? Right, and this is this is the UK, right? Who is one of the seven heads of seven kingdoms of Esau. You have a matter of fact, let me get that scripture. Revelation 17. Right, and Britain, America's birth from Britain. Revelation 17. Revelation 17 and 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The seven heads are seven mountains, right? The seven heads are seven mountains. The seven heads, uh, seven kingdoms of Esau. Germania Major, Germania Minor, the Spanish, the French, the British, the Greeks, and the Romans, right? Let me get another scripture real quick. Revelation 13. Revelation 13. Verse 1, and reads, says here, the beast from the sea. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having seven heads and 10 horns. Seven heads being the seven kingdoms of Esau. Germania Major, Germania Minor, the Spanish, the French, the Greeks, the Romans, and the British, right? That's the seven rulership, seven kingdoms of Esau, and 10 horns, right? The EEC, the European Economic Community, which later became the EU, and upon his horns 10 crowns. The 10 crowns being the common markets, the 10 common markets, and upon his head the name of blasphemy, right? Because this beast whore is a blasphemous, right? They blaspheme the Most High, and the beast which I saw, was like unto a leopard. Right, the leopard being the beginning of Edomite supremacy. The leopard is the Greeks, Alexander, the Greeks. That was the beginning of Edomite supremacy. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. Right, and this is symbolic of his end. The feet being the end of his kingdoms, and the bear being Russia, because Russia is going to be the end of Edom of Esau's rulerships, right? And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. The lion is representative of Britain, Great Britain. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority, right? The dragon is interchangeable. It's Esau, and it's also the Roman Empire, right? Esau's elites, the Roman Empire is interchangeable. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, right? One of his heads being the Roman Empire, wounded to death. That's the fall of the Western Roman Empire, right? And the Byzantines came in, who were Jakes, and his deadly wound was healed, right? So he fell, that which began the Dark Ages, and the healing was the Renaissance, coming out of the Dark Ages, his rebirth, and all, right? Renaissance, resurgence, his rebirth. All right, let's look at that word Renaissance for edification's sake. Renaissance, one and Salakia. Great period of revival of classical based art and learning in Europe. Of art and learning, right? And that began in the 1400s, beginning with uh, right? Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast, right? Rome 2.0, the healing of his wound, the Renaissance. Fast forward, America, the revised Roman Empire, right? And all the world wondered after the beast. Look at this word wondered. Right? 'Cause he's gonna come down having great wrath. He's gonna push his authority. He's gonna mandate the whole world needs to do this. Get down or die trying. Get down or lie down. Salakia. Thaumazo in the Greek, to wonder at, marvel, to be wondered at, to be had in admiration. Right? America has been the pinnacle, the benchmark of success in the eyes of the world. But now she's being exposed. She's being made bare. Right? All the nations are mad. The nations have a despise for America the Great. In the Strongs, to wonder, by implication, to admire, have an admiration, marvel, wonder. Right? She's been the pinnacle. She's been the light. Revelation 17:9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And the woman being America, America the Great. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, the 5 that fell. The Spanish, the French, the British, Germaner Minor, Germaner Major. And 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space, right? The one that was, the 1 is the Roman Empire, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space, and that's the British, right? This is a vision of John the Revelator. Verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, right? And who's the 8th that is of the 7? And is of the 7, right? We're talking about America. And goeth into perdition, perdition meaning destruction, right? Right. So this is a UK thing here, right? But she's one of the 7 heads. And Babylon the Great, America the Great comes from her, man. Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50. We'll wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up, nothing too long. Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50:12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed, right? The mother being the British, right? She that bare you shall be ashamed, right? America comes from Britain, man. You know what I mean? America is a revised Roman Empire. Yeah. But she comes from Britain. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, right? Ultimately, destruction for America, the Great Babylon the Great, right? But guarantee whatever you see going on over there in the UK, man, it's just a matter of time before it comes to America, the Great Babylon the Great, right? All roads lead to the MOTB. But that's it on that. I pray you're edified. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, a teacher, and rule well. Shalom to the overall elect.